I would love for our employees to say that they work at the coolest custom t-shirt company, that it's basically like a spaceship that prints t-shirts. My brother took the first website design course at the high school. He didn't feel like doing his homework. He said, "Mike, will you type up this for me?" And I said, "Sure." So I typed it for him, and at the end of it, I was like, "What did I just do?" And he said, "Oh, well, you just typed an HTML website." Like, I was just amazed that I could make things as a 13-year-old. I signed up for websites, I sold their services, and then I got paid for it. The reason I even got into business was because there became a lot of financial uncertainty at the time, where my mom sat us down and said, "We don't know if the business is gonna make it. We don't know if we're gonna live in this house, and we don't know if you're gonna go to the same school anymore." I knew the mortgage payment was $5,000 a month. So by the time I was 14, like, I gave my mom the first check. You know, at that moment, she started crying. I was like, wow, this is really, really important. My dad, he was at the point where the business was completely like shut down, and he was kind of like depressed. But his friend who was in this business, the custom t-shirt business, said, "Alan, you know, you're a really good sales guy. Why don't you come on the road with me? You will go on the road door to door. You'll sell to pizza shops, car washes." And after his customers started getting stolen, I said, let me just take it online because it's more sustainable that way. And that's where RushOrderTees began. After 3 years, where it was probably 2005 at this point, where I didn't want to keep doing this. So I said, "Jordan, I'm done." And he said, "Give it a few more months." And I said, "If we give it a few more months, then we just have to do something different." The business went from like $30,000 a month to $200,000 a month. So it became a multi-million-dollar business almost overnight. That set on like all these new challenges. We didn't know what we were doing. We didn't know anything about management. We just knew we had to get shirts delivered by X date. But how do I look at success today? Look, I mean, if one customer's upset, I had a problem because the customer had a problem, and then everyone had to know about it to make sure that we don't do that again. In business, if you're not growing, you could be dying. So you have to make sure that you're growing in a multitude of ways and not just like selling more t-shirts. So you need to be creative and resourceful, and you just need to make sure that not only is the revenue growing, hopefully the profits are growing, hopefully like company happiness is growing, and hopefully it attracts more and more good people to the business so that whoever's standing beside them, they can trust them to work here. I'm very optimistic about what's possible. If someone tells me something's not possible, I probably believe it's possible. If I think it's good for the business and the people. And then I'm just, in that sense, I'm also relentless about it to make sure that it gets done. Trust the process. There's people who've been here for a decade plus. They've seen the company evolve from a 30-person company in a small warehouse to now a leading e-commerce company in the custom t-shirt space with the most amazing facilities in the country. So, you know, it's not always gonna make sense with certain changes, but it's always for the greater good of the team and the company. And I've done every single job in the business. And we expect everyone to handle it as like their own business, right? So if we assign you a press, or you know, you're on a DTG machine or embroidery, like that's your business. Because when we started the business itself, it was just one machine.